Martin, with all the information that we receive, like consumers, how brands can approach and connect with them?
It's very important to understand that brands today are far too noisy. And that means that the only way you can stand out as a brand is to go through an alternative path. And in my opinion, one of those is word of mouth. I wrote a book some years ago which I called Brand Washed. It was where we did an experiment, a social experiment in Los Angeles. Mm-hmm. We basically placed rumors into a household, and these were branded rumors, mm-hmm. and then we're measuring how fast the word would spread. And within just a couple of months, millions of people have heard about those rumors. It was pretty extraordinary. Mm-hmm. So what I've learned is that you don't trust the news, you don't trust TV, you don't trust the internet, you don't trust Facebook. What you probably trust the most is family members and your friends. So really, in many ways, I think that's the ultimate source.
Okay. Everybody talks about big data. Why is it important that brands focus on small data and details?
The most important thing to understand is that we are human beings, and we have increasingly come to the notion that we have to believe we can map down love using a spreadsheet. Mm. But I don't think you can do that. I think we still are too simplistic in the way we map down emotions, because it's squeezed through a digital filter, and the filter is losing the nuances. If it really were that good, people wouldn't go to conferences, people wouldn't go to concerts, people wouldn't go to the fresh farmers markets, because all of it you can buy online or you can buy it through an app. So why do people do that? Well, they do that because there is something else in the air which can't be expressed through data. And small data is really the idea of picking up these seemingly insignificant observations in people's lives, which means a lot for people and which can create a point of differentiation in their lives later on if you amplify that or mirror that. So just to be very simple and concrete here, small data is all about causation. Okay. It is to find the reason why things are happening. Big data is all about correlation. It's to connect the dots. You cannot connect dots without knowing why you're connecting the dots. Okay. Once you know what these dots are and you know the meaning of them, then you can connect them, i.e. you can verify that the big data, through big data, the small data is right.
Oh, okay. First we have big data, then small data. What is the next step?
I think the next step for me probably would be to look into the more neuro-based type of mirroring of our brain and how you create certain feelings which are highly complex. One of them is empathy. What is empathy? How do you create empathy? That is a very complex aspect which small data may partly reveal. Big data for sure have no idea about it, but what does it require? And I think that's where research will go into our brains in many ways. The impact of a smell, the impact of sound, how it takes us back in time, how it activates childhood memories. I mean, one thing which is really fascinating for me is how we don't have a taste preference. Mm-hmm. Our taste preference is linked back to emotions. That means if I had a great experience when I was a child and I happened to get this candy floss or whatever I ate at the same time, those emotions will be sucked into the taste and locked into my brain forever. Now, we don't know a lot about this topic. That's the next generation to understand that neuro-based insight, right?
Okay, thank you very much.
Pleasure.